Hello everyone, welcome back to the Waste of Games podcast. I'm your host today, Craig. I'm joined with...
Oh, Declan.
How we doing, boys?
I'm alright. How you guys doing?
I'm okay, I guess.
I'm tired. I've been at work.
Alright, cool.
So last week we ended off on Last of Us. Was it Last of Us?
Yeah, it was the last.
Yes. And we're on about the TV show and they've cast it.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal as Joel,
Mm.
and Bella Ramsey
yeah.
as Ellie.
What do we think?
Pedro, I think is okay. Bella, nah.
Hey, listen. They're both terrific actors. Like, without a doubt. They're both amazing.
Can Bella Ramsey do an American accent?
I
She's
haven't
English.
actually watched. I heard she's okay. I've only seen her in Game of Thrones.
I think
And she was pretty good
me
in that.
too.
I think it's just going to be different, isn't it? Like, it's separate from the games, which is kind of good because we're not going to associate them, but we are.
That's the thing. That's why it's annoying. That's why I didn't want Joel and Ellie.
Mm.
Did I mention it last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I did. I don't know. I feel like it could be good. I'm not going to immediately write it off, but I was just kind of disappointed. I was expecting to see someone else's story.
Yeah, I wanted to see more Tommy stuff, maybe. There's a lot of ways they could have done it, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, so Ghost of Tsushima. That's what I said we're going to talk about this week. And we all agreed it's like our top... Yeah, it's our top 3 game of the year, isn't it? Well, it's your games of the year, and it's... Yeah, it's my top 3 as well. Yeah, so let's start off. Who wants to start off? I think Keith, because it's your game of the year. So I think you should have the most to say, surely.
It's our game of the year, to be fair.
You're the one with the collector's edition, bro.
Not true. I ended up buying it 3 times, if I remember correctly.
Just the game in general, or
I
the
got-
collector's edition.
Oh no, not the collector's. I'm not made of money. I bought the collector's edition,
Hmm.
and they were like, it might not show up on time. So instead of the collector's edition, I tried to cancel that and got the deluxe edition instead. But then that wasn't going to show up on time, so I tried to cancel that and just got it digitally. And then the other 2 were just still fine anyway. And instead of going back to canceling them, I was just like, I'll take them. I'll take them. The collector's edition was from Germany as well.
Yeah, I remember you saying you had to order it from Germany because it was
Yeah.
sold out everywhere else.
The box is in German. I was like, kind of sucks. But I got a nice big ass, those flags for the
Like
clans.
banners?
Yeah, I got one of the
Nice.
banners. I ain't got anything to put it on, but I've got it, and it's real cool. It's just back of my house, under my bed with everything else. Got my mask though.
That mask is awesome.
It is very cool.
Yeah, it's staying with me.
I see knockoffs on Amazon.
Yeah,
Like
on
actual
Wish.
face masks now. I want to get one.
I was gonna try and get like a cool samurai face mask, and all the ones I saw were just dead. I was like, oh no, never mind.
I thought about turning that one into an actual mask to wear outside, but I was like, I'm not that much of a weeb.
And it's covered in holes as well.
Trust bro, you'll definitely
Yeah.
break it.
No, I meant like underneath, on top of another mask.
Oh, you probably put some like cloth on there as well. I don't know.
No, I couldn't bring myself to. I think I'd die of embarrassment if I did. If I just walked outside and someone looked at me without thinking, I'd just walk back into my house. I'm like,
Dude, people
no.
will stare at you constantly.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get away with wearing that in public.
But yeah, the game itself amazing. I think I played through the story. I've only played it once. I didn't get to do the new game plus because I sold my PlayStation to go up. But that story was amazing. Like when I first saw it back in 2017, 16,
16, I think.
16.
Yeah.
when they showed it, I was like immediately invested. I saw Samurais and I was like, yes, I'm in. And I was waiting patiently ever since, and it didn't disappoint.
No, I agree. Yeah, it didn't disappoint. It was better than what I expected.
Yeah.
I mean, because I didn't really get excited until like the last few months. I was like, oh, shit, this is awesome.
Me too. You know, you guys would constantly talk about it in the chat. I was like, I don't really care. I don't really care. You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
convinced me to get it. And it turned out to be my game of the year. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
it.
we forgot. I forgot you didn't have it. You started slandering you, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I literally, to be honest, it was at the time of the first lockdown where I was still living at home. I had furlough, and I was like, listen, I've got spare money in it. And the slander I was getting in the chat was unbelievable. They were like, I kept getting sent videos of like combat, being like, "You're telling me you're not excited for this?" And I took so much abuse that I ended up just buying it anyway.
It was worth it.
Oh, definitely.
Sometimes bullying is the answer.
Always.
Yeah.
Especially on the
From a
internet.
good friend, not from strangers, from a good friend. What do you guys think of the story?
I loved it, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like anything groundbreaking or anything.
True, it's quite a simple story.
Yeah, it's very simple, but I loved everything about it. I think I'm a little bit biased because I just love anything samurai related.
Bro, I think
that was one of the reasons I was excited for the game in general. I was waiting for a really good samurai. Last year as well, there was the Samurai Jack game. I don't know if you guys played it. It was actually really fun. It wasn't amazing, but it was fun.
Did you not like Sekiro?
Ah, that's a different kind of
Samurai. It's just hard, isn't it?
I liked it. It kicked my ass.
That's a game that you play to piss yourself off.
Yeah.
It's not a fun game.
I need to go back in because I got to what's his name, Genichiro, the dude in the freaking high castle or whatever, and he kicked my ass a good 15 times before I beat him. And then once I beat him, I didn't want to play the game. That wasn't even the final boss. That was like, I want to say like a midway boss.
I've watched walkthroughs. It is long. I'm never going to complete that game. I have no desire to play it.
I've never even played it.
Don't.
Do it. No, ignore him. Play it.
Listen, I saw bits of it. I saw people getting their asses kicked.
Yeah,
and I was
bro.
like, I don't need that kind of frustration in my life right now.
Play Ghost of Tsushima. It's better. It's everything that Sekiro isn't. That's a lie. But it is better.
Yeah. It's better.
It's fun.
Ghost is better, I think.
Yeah.
It's subjective, I guess, because depends what you're into. But what was I saying?
And about the story.
We're talking about the story, yeah. Story in general. And then he brought up Sekiro.
I did, yeah, because you're on about samurai
Oh, yeah, I
games.
was talking about samurai. Yeah, ever since I was a kid, watching Samurai Jack at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday, Cartoon Network or something,
Yeah.
and then running around my house, tending to cut my sister off. Like, yeah, I just wanted it. So I saw that game at the PlayStation conference. I was like, this is what I've been waiting for so long. And it came around, and I was like, amazing. In Sakai, the way everything the way they weaved everything from like the wind at his back being his dad to the birds and the trees being his mom. I loved it. Like just the whole world in general. I just loved everything about it.
I like the way that whole thing was set up.
Yeah.
The UI in general, like the very minimal stuff, and like you said, it all had a reason. Yeah, that stuff is beautiful. I love that. That was my favorite thing about it, because at first I was a little bit like confused when you first go in. You're like, I got it, but it was just kind of, it was so new.
Yeah.
Like no game had ever done that before. I was like,
I think I said it to Craig. I was like, it might be a gimmick. I was like, we'll see if it's a gimmick or not. The no waypoint, you just use like the wind or something like that. But
people shouting outside, but yes, yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, it's one of them sayings, isn't it? Like, yeah, it'll be in there. You know, stuff that gets eventually taken out of games because it's too complicated to keep in. But they did. They kept it all in. Sucker Punch just don't miss. We say that constantly. They don't miss.
They haven't missed in years.
But yeah, the story, yeah. Listen, it was nothing interesting, but it doesn't need to be because it's just the game itself.
that was the thing. It was simple. It just worked.
Exactly.
You got the journey with Jin that you needed to. Yeah, I think it worked real well, especially when you get to the end. I think everything ties up real nicely. There was never any loose ends or anything. I think that's what keeping it simple does. It allows you to have no loose ends. It's
good though. Like I like the characters are interesting. Like I like Lord Shimmer and Jin's relationship. It's really good. Norio as well. He was one of my favourites. A monk dude who goes on a revenge at the end, which is kind of fun. It's nice. But yeah, some of the characters, I think some of them are a bit, like Lady Massacre. Some of her stuff was a bit weird. Like she's very like hit and miss with her behaviour.
Wow, I loved it though. Like there was so many like little twists, little moments where you were getting an idea of a character, and then you get given some new information that completely it like changed your view on the whole situation completely. Yeah, I love the way each one of their quests went from. You started off at that start point, especially with like Lady Massacre and stuff, and it was just every journey had its up and downs. It wasn't like there was no real like one quest that I found that was like one character that just bored me. They were all interesting.
What bit was it? You know the bit that they showed us at the demo with Lady Masako?
Mm-hmm.
Like where they fight under that tree. I thought they'd cut it out. I said, oh no. Like that looked like one of the coolest bits, and it's right. It's one of our last missions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I was a bit sad. I just remembered as and yeah, like I said, they don't miss.
Speaking of the doors, those doors were something else, right? The ones
Oh
you
my
just
God.
stumble across.
Yeah, they were amazing. Like the one on the beach, or the first one you have when you get the special move, and you're fighting like the hill,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like lightning crashing around.
Is that the one for the Heavenly Strike?
Yeah.
You're talking about that one? Yeah.
Yeah, lightning. The place that's on fire.
Making me want to go replay the story again.
Yeah,
So good.
I'd recently just started replaying it, like 2 days ago. But We've been playing the online more.
Mm.
We have, yeah, all of us. That's fun. That, you know what that needs? That needs a duel mode where you
That's
can
what
just fight each
I've
other.
Oh yeah.
Imagine how cool that'd be. Like just 1-on-1, like For Honor, but better.
I've been saying PvP in this game would be amazing.
Maybe that's in the works. I don't know because they keep adding stuff,
Mm.
or maybe it'll be in the sequel.
I'm new to it, to be honest. I literally just started playing that online a few days ago. What have they actually added since launch?
You got two options, well, three stories which you can do with 2 people, or the survivals
Mm-hmm.
which you can do with 4 people, and then they eventually added the raids,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, have you played Destiny?
I haven't played it, but I know of the raids and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like really long. We haven't actually done any of them because they're level locked. You have to be level 100,
Hmm.
which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, Deck's too low of a level. Just Deck.
Oh yeah, just me, just me. I'm the reason I'm holding you back.
Yeah.
You have to be level 100. It's the hardest thing you can do in the online. Our friend Shisha was like, oh man, they take nearly 6 hours.
6?
Oh.
You're lying.
6 hours. That's what I said. I was like, what? No
6
way.
hours?
6 hours.
Who's got a spare 6 hours in the evening after work?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mad.
But it seems like that's the best content. We haven't actually
Mm.
got to play it yet, but
I think we will. Maybe this weekend.
probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're listening to this on Sunday. Maybe we've done it. We'll let you know next week.
Yeah, you fly up. Don't worry about
That's fun. I was kind of hoping there'd be a bit more like free roam stuff with like actual missions in and around villages and stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of get why they haven't. I still enjoy the online, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It is quite fun. You know, like, the best thing you can do at the minute is survival. It's still really fun and engaging because obviously the combat's just so well done. Like it just brings you back in it.
But that was the thing when I was replaying the story. Because like you said, you started replaying the story. I did as well a few days ago. There's just so much potential there for an open world online game. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like it's just such a good map. Like the art, the world design, the art is something else, right?
It is. It is beautiful. The photo mode as well.
The way the environment tells you places to go, like the haikus, and you see the birds in the sky, and you just know. Like that stuff was just, it was so engaging because everything in the world, like you know, there wasn't any markers or anything. You just knew from like environmental cues.
The whole thing just looked like a painting.
Yeah.
Like no matter where, you could just spin around like really fast and just stop anywhere, and it would just look like a painting.
Speaking of that, the photo mode was amazing, right?
Oh,
One of the best photo modes I've tried.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys play, but I love the combat so much. I just went out of my way to start fights with people.
100%. Yeah.
Everyone I saw in the horizon, anywhere. I was just on smoke at all times. I could literally just fight people all day long in that game because it's so much fun.
Yeah, there's a standoff one. Face me, coward. Like, forget
Come on,
stealth.
fight me.
Like, I think later on in the game, obviously, it kind of catered you towards more stealth.
Mm-hmm.
And then near the end, it's like, you can do whatever now. Like, I enjoyed mixing it up.
Yeah, I usually used to start off stealthy, take out all the archers around the top of the bow or something. Because the bow was so fun to use. Like, to hit those headshots were just so clean.
Bing.
Yeah, the little noise, the thump. Oh, it's so good. I loved it. And then right at the end, when there was a few left, I'd just stand off because that was so much fun. Especially when you like got later on in the game and you could like upgrade it more.
Yeah.
That was so much
I
fun.
do like 5 in a row.
Literally.
Oh, the ones that when you get to the trickier enemies for the standoffs, though.
Oh yeah,
They
we
got
got
me so
fakes
much. Yeah.
and the sounds.
There's the little punk with the curved dagger.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah,
ones that
it's
throw
true.
the flash bombs. Every single time for me when I did a standoff with them, they'd fake immediately, and I'd bite every time. And I was so annoyed.
Yeah.
Every single time, just whoop. They had my number.
Yeah, then your health literally goes, all of it, doesn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah, you mess those up, they punish you for it.
Fair enough.
And you start panicking, and it's all downhill from there.
Just run away.
Yeah.
I found that hilarious when they do kill you and you're on the floor. When you have that ability to be able to use 3 resolve to like come back to life, and in the meantime they're just kicking you on the floor, just
Yeah, man, listen.
stomping you out.
I mean, you killed a lot of their friends.
Yeah.
Kind of deserve it.
They ain't gotta be so rude about it.
Listen, they're invading us,
Yeah.
and they've got the cheek to say that I killed their friends. Yeah,
Mongols, man. What are you gonna do?
you Mongols.
When I didn't know if they were called that originally, I was like, "Am I saying it right?" Mongols, and I was like, "Oh, they are." Like I watched like the Metatron. He's a historian. He did a video on it. I was like, "Oh, they are Mongols." I just thought it was like a phrase. Like discriminating, but that's what. Yeah, like I was discriminating them because obviously now you use that as a term to discriminate. You're being mean to someone, aren't you?
I think that's a British thing.
Yeah, I think it is a British thing. Yeah, I thought Kotal Khan.
Yes.
Yes, sorry, that's a Mortal Kombat character as well. I'm just making sure. He's a real piece of work right at the beginning, straight off the bat, burning someone alive. Actually, burn. Sets him up, doesn't it, for being an asshole?
Straight faced as well.
Yeah.
I thought you could. I tried my best to beat him right at the start, and apparently you can't do it.
Oh,
It
really?
doesn't do anything different.
Yeah, you still lose.
Wait, you can beat him?
Yeah, you can beat him.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I think I whiffed the first shot, and then he immediately just boom. Oh no, you know the new game plus they put you after that bit.
Oh, you start right on the beach, don't you? I should know that. I started it
Yeah.
a few days ago.
Yeah, it literally just leaves you there and then you go down. Which was a shame because I kind of wanted to do that first bit. I love it.
It's fun, isn't it, raiding? Yeah,
Yeah.
just you raiding the castle.
When you start on the beach and you go down and then go through, like, I really enjoyed that starting section.
It's a big sequence as well. I don't know why they cut it out for New Game Plus.
I guess we're like, you guys have already seen this before, you know what's up.
Yeah, but it's pretty, isn't it?
Mm.
You know, spent work so hard on the game. Let me see it. Okay, let's talk about things we didn't like. It's not perfect. It's a great game, but there is a few things.
I think it falls victim to the usual
Ubisoft.
open world. Yeah, Ubisoft. Yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff. When you do open the map, it tries very hard to keep you from looking at the map. But then once you do, you see it is just filled with a bunch of go over here, grab this, select this, just fetch quests every now and then. There's not too many, to be fair, but yeah, it's the same usual kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they got to keep you there for a while, isn't there? But I think that they're fun to play, though. It's not like they get repetitive and boring. You know, obviously you do the fox dens and
Yeah, that's what got repetitive for me. Those fox dens. I was like, yeah, there's too many of these guys knocking about.
just annoying following them, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What else is it?
They're cute for the first like 2, and then you're like, sticky, bro.
Have you seen how many there are as well? I swear there's like 50.
Mhm.
There's literally so many. Yeah, it got very long.
the spas as well.
Yep.
And the bamboo strikes.
Yeah, I loved all those, to be fair.
How fast you can mash buttons.
To be fair, I wasn't expecting the first time when he hopped in to see all that ass. I was like, oh my god.
Hey, when you got cheek.
Literally, I was face to face with Cheeks. I was like, oh man. Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon. I was like, mad.
A lot of them, luckily, it gets ignorable because the gameplay carries it.
And you're so into the combat, you never really... They're just like minor issues, really. Not really anything worth complaining about.
Yeah, there's the recurring fade to black for a next scene. That's kind of... I don't know. It's a bit boring. It's very... I don't know, college film-esque. You know what I mean? Just a fade to black. They could have made it like very classic and done some like cool cuts or like comic book styles. I don't know, just anything different.
Again, trying to keep it in line with the whole Kurosawa style. They did that for another issue you mentioned earlier, the lip syncing.
Yeah, that was a bit that put me off a little bit because the first time I tried to play it, I did try and play it in Japanese. I was like, this is going to be cool, just to fully immerse yourself in it. And then I realized they were talking while I was fighting, and I can't understand what they're saying. I also can't read what they're saying because I'm too busy getting my ass kicked. And I was like, I was like, I might have to turn this to English. Also, when the cutscenes happened, you could see what they were saying in English, and it was so off-putting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a little nitpick, I guess.
When people say that's not their game of the year, like, it's understandable. It doesn't really do anything too different, but I think it just does everything that's already there, like, really well.
Like obviously like the navigation in the world
Yeah.
map. I think that's quite the way they did it. It's very different. Like I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
The photo mode as well was quite decent for obviously end of era.
To be fair, the way they utilized the touchpad was interesting because it was nice for like an actual developer to use that in like a meaningful way, to be able to like when you slid left and you was able to just play the flute. Like how nice was that to just chill and just.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and it changes the the weather as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can change it from sunny to stormy. Then there's the fog, and then yeah.
It's really interesting being able to murk an entire camp and then just start playing the flute like nothing ever happened, walking away real peacefully.
Like imagine getting murdered and someone starts playing a flute over your dead body.
Imagine someone just duels your best friend and slashes their arm off, and then a few seconds later they're writing a poem.
That being
What kind
said,
of
yeah, the
sick
poems.
person?
speaking of dueling,
Yeah.
best friends,
Oh.
dude. The first time that happens and the first duel with him, I was going crazy. I was like, this is the best thing that's ever. I was like, this is amazing. It was so well done. I like their entire like dynamic too. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I was hurt.
Oh yeah, you felt betrayed.
So
I
hurt
was hurt.
I understood where he come from though.
because I was loving this dude. I was like, Uzo, my best friend. Like I thought we were tight.
Kind of smelt it though, the way they're going on about their past and their
Yeah.
differences. It smelt like betrayal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be fair, I think that was the thing. Is like the story wasn't. They said it wasn't like the reason most people choose like Last of Us as the game of the year.
Because you didn't expect it.
Well, it was a bit of like also the story was just. That was the point of the game, was the story. They focused completely on the story. That was like, even though, like we spoke about last week, the game was so well developed. This, I felt like the story was just, it was simple, it was there to do its job, and the rest of it would make up for it a little bit.
Yeah, like the story in Last of Us is first, gameplay second, and then because obviously the Last of Us game is, it's not really much different from the first one, gameplay wise anyway. Not really any new mechanics, but then Ghost of Tsushima, gameplay is first clearly, and that's why it's fun to come back to.
What do you think? There's been rumors of a second one. What do you think they'll do with that?
I remember that I saw leaks about the hiring for the second one. I mean, they did invade again, and they won this time. But obviously, if they follow, history, or they, divert and make a new.
They do a Tarantino and just change the past.
Yeah, why not? I think it'll be fun. I think obviously because you've got all your stuff as well, it's just fun from the go. But then obviously, how do they make it harder and challenging?
But they'll probably do like remember in Assassin's Creed 2, and then you'd start Brotherhood, and at the start they take all your stuff away
Yep.
from you. It'll probably be like that.
I hope not.
You
That's
immediately lose everything.
boring.
I'm here for any and all samurai games. So
True.
yeah.
Yeah, Keith's easily pleased.
I'm very easily. Give me a sword and I'm good.
Yeah, because they've not said anything about story DLC, have they? Like they've not.
Not as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
I think full focus is online right now.
yeah, multiplayer, isn't it? Even then,
Like I said, I'm kind of new to the online. I've only just started playing it and really enjoying it, but I haven't really kept up to date with that, to be honest. Like I said, I played Ghost when it first came out, and I played it a lot. Went to get the platinum on it, managed to get that, which it was quite an easy one, wasn't it? Did you get the platinum for that as well?
Yeah.
I'll go to Tsushima, both platinumed it.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Ooh.
No, it was a fun one though, because there wasn't too much to do. Like, some games there's an overbearing amount of like side missions and stuff you have to do. I felt like this one was like just to the point where it start to take the mick, but it was like perfect. Like it wasn't an easy trophy, but there wasn't like loads.
Yeah, you had to earn it. But there was a whole lot of collectibles, including those fox dens, the hot tub things,
Artifact.
yeah, all that kind of stuff. But just as it was like you said, just to the point where it's too much, they're like, okay, you're done.
Okay, we're done.
Easy trophy.
Unlike Rockstar, where they just push you to the edge.
Scumbags.
Speaking of Rockstar, we're going to mention retro games, weren't we? What is it? I mean, I know it is Bully because I played it on the original PlayStation. But what is it now?
Canis Canimedi, that was the European version, right?
Yeah, they had to change the name because people didn't want the name Bully because it was too. People.
Yeah, I
were,
remember Bully
people
School
mad.
Ship Edition, like when it came out on the Xbox and PlayStation. I played that, and then you mentioned it. I have no idea what that game is. I was like, oh, it's Bully.
Yeah, I heard rumors of there being a second one, and it immediately got me just back in the mood to want to play the first one. And I went around playing Canis Canimedi again, and I'm not gonna lie, I binge played it the entirety of last week. I didn't finish it. I still gotta go back and finish it. But like, it holds up pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. Like, because I tried replaying The Warriors. That was one of my favorite PS2
yes.
games. I love that game so much. And I tried replaying it on my PS4, but the camera controls were just so painful. I was like, I can't do this. But the Canis Canimedi one was actually okay. I really enjoyed playing it, and you forget almost just how good those games were. Like, I feel like you're looking through the lens of nostalgia, and you're like, oh yeah, that was a great game. But like, even go back now, like, it actually holds up too, which says a lot about the game itself.
It's Rockstar as well, isn't it? A lot of their games that are quite old, they still fun to play.
Like Red Dead. Oh my god, the first Red Dead, when I went back and replayed that just before Red Dead 2 came out, I played it for like a week straight. And then we started playing the online as well, like the Undead Nightmare stuff, because you can do like survival stuff on there. And just going back and playing these old games, because like we're in a time now where like PlayStation Now exists and stuff like that, where you can just go back and replay this stuff. And like, which you gotta admit, I was scared to do. I was scared to like ruin the experience of what I had. Like, I feel like some games you probably just shouldn't touch. But like, there's others that I've just had so much fun going back to, because they just hold up so well.
I wanted to go back into Red Dead 1 for so long. Xbox announced that they forced it to run at 4K, and I almost did it. I was like, oh,
I remember,
but it wasn't worth it.
No, not just for that. Forza, maybe Forza as well.
Because I tried playing Red Dead on PlayStation Now, but that was when I was back at home and my Wi-Fi was terrible.
Yeah,
it's annoying that it's through Wi-Fi. I don't know. I just don't let you download it.
Yeah, they do with some games, but not Red Dead.
Sony, ain't it? And they're all about money.
True.
Staying on the topic of retro games, what is your favorite retro game? A game from yesteryear, PS1, PS2.
I think we've already mentioned mine. Warriors was literally one of my favorite games of all time. I used to love that game.
I think mine was PS1, Heart of Darkness. It's a really, I bought someone I know bought a PlayStation 1, and I was going to buy it, like on the, on Amazon to get it. £500. They're really keeping,
What?
Like, there's not many copies of it, so people try and sell it for lots. And for a split second, I was like, oh. But I didn't, common sense.
I've never heard of this game.
Exactly. There's so many games from like PS1, PS2 that people haven't heard of that are still very popular.
I showed you this the other day. There was a game I used to play a lot as a kid, and it was, like, looking back on it, it's so funny. It was called 50 Cent Bulletproof.
Oh, yeah, I had that.
Like, looking back at, ain't that so wild that a rapper had a video game about him where he was like,
50 Cent was massive for a while.
Yeah.
It was actually a fun game as well.
It was a crazy game, but I loved it. Like, I just wonder whose idea was it to be like, hey, should we make a game about 50 Cent where he like tries to get revenge on someone that tries
Probably
to
50 Cent thought of it.
Probably
Yeah, man, his life's a movie.
But like, we were talking how like, I feel like nowadays you still have like inventive games. Like, I'm not saying the creativity's gone, but you just don't have wild games like that anymore that just don't make any sense.
I think my favorite throwback game was Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. The game has how dare you?
No, it's okay. I played it originally, but it's just the way people talk about it now. Like, this swing is so good. Go back and play it. It's okay.
It was great at the time. I'm not saying it holds up. It looks like a potato.
Oh, it looks gross. It was okay.
That game was awesome.
This man's gonna not after the whole Rhino fight.
No, I enjoyed it. Listen, it was okay. Hey, I'm saying it was okay. I enjoyed it when it was out, but I'm not like, the way people talk about it now.
Heathen.
I guess. I really enjoyed the Amazing Spider-Man games.
Oh my
They
God.
were awful.
Oh my
But then
God.
just the love of Andrew Garfield. Them games, bro, they were awful. Like even on Xbox, they were bad.
We had an idea to do retro game replays.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if we can ever secure a copy of, maybe you need to go back and play Spider-Man for that.
What, Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man
What
2.
bit did I get stuck on? You know the bit in the arena? What was it? Who did you fight?
Mysterio.
Bro, I stopped playing because I couldn't do it. Maybe that's why I don't like
So
it.
basically, what you're trying to say is you weren't good enough to beat it, so now you hate it.
No, I didn't, and listen, I never said hate. I just said meh. But yeah, probably.
Oh, you
Nah, it's
basically said
not.
it's the worst game ever made. That's what you just said right there.
Sure, yeah. Trying to get me shot.
Now, to be fair, I've got my PS2 back in my parents. When the lockdown ends, I'll go back and get it, and I'll get
Yeah.
my Spider-Man as well.
And Keith's been streaming on Twitch. Maybe we'll stream it.
Yeah, boy.
we'll,
Twitch.tv/Matamba if you wanna.
Speaking of streaming, what have you been playing recently, Keith?
I've been what have I been playing? I've been playing the PlayStation Plus game Destruction All Stars, which came out this February. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of potential. I played with Craig a little bit as well.
Yep.
But yeah, they've made a couple weird decisions. I'm having fun with what's there, but it's kind of limited at the minute.
What do you mean?
For example, there's 4 online game modes, and 2 of them you can't play in a party with friends. Yeah, I was like, what? Like, whatever. But then there's not only 4 game modes in the game. There is a section called Challenge Series, which is basically the single player section. And in that section, you get like 10 different, loads of different ones, all kinds of them. But they've given you the first one free, and then the rest you have to pay for.
Yeah, it's gross.
So while it's free right now, the game, you then have to pay for the story content, essentially single player content. And they've locked a bunch of game modes and customization stuff. It's basically a battle pass.
Oh,
It's like they're trying to do a battle pass. Ignoring all of that, I think the game is a lot of fun. Like driving around, there's 16 playable characters at the minute, different abilities and whatnot. Some of them garbage.
Yeah.
Some of them,
Fodder.
yes.
Yeah, the balancing's pretty.
There's
Nah.
a little bit non-existent.
Yeah.
One might say. There's literally like some characters' special ability will be they can just scan you, and then you have a bonus for like destroying the person you scan. And then the other ones will be they've got a massive sword on the front of their car and it just slices you in half. There's a big ass shredder that literally tears you to pieces
I was about to say,
with a magnet. It's got a magnet on it. It draws you into
pulls
the
you in.
sword.
Yeah. Kills
Yeah.
you.
and let me get this straight. The other one, you're in an arena, right? You can see everyone anyway.
You can
They can't
see
hide.
everybody anyway. They're very bright colored vehicles. They're very hard to miss.
I was about to say, it's like a small arena. Like you can't
Yeah.
hide or anything. It's not like you can go out. Like, huh?
And that's what I'm saying. Interesting choices, but it's still new. To be fair,
Yeah,
There's
it's
no-
not been out long, has it?
no, literally like a couple weeks at this point.
It's a weird setup they've got with the whole like 2 months free and then you have to pay for it, right?
Yeah, it's
the end of
free
it.
on PlayStation Plus for the first 2 months. I think there's not many. It's a good thing to do, especially for online games like that, just to get a player base in. But I think they've been hurt by the fact that basically nobody can get a PS5 right now.
Yeah.
So when I'm trying, you try and play some of those game modes, and you're in the wait for a while.
I was about to say, I've been trying my damn best to get my hands on one, but I cannot.
Yeah, the game's a lot of fun. I've been playing on the stream. We got a couple wins here and there.
When you're playing with me, yeah.
Yeah, when I'm playing with Craig, I can't seem to perform on on my own. But it's a lot of fun. I'm loving it. Slide through to the stream if you want. Once again, twitch.tv/Mutomba.
Also, if Sleepy Peter's out there listening, what's up, my guy?
Thank you, Sleepy Pete. You made me better at Ghost of Tsushima. You put a chip on my shoulder. I appreciate that. We're going to end it here, I think. I've been with Keith Matumba,
That's me.
Declan Suffolk,
That's me.
and myself is Craig Woods. Thank you for listening. And tune in next week. Have a great day.
Bye bye.
Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.